My name is Chandler Griffith, and I'm the marketing coordinator at ARU, the U.S. leader in specialty property product development, underwriting, loss control, and technology. Today, I have with me Amanda Bryant, who was just promoted to Director of Operations. Amanda's been with ARU since 2022 and was instrumental in laying the operational groundwork that has led ARU to its fifth consecutive year of 40 to 50% growth. So, first and foremost, congratulations, Amanda, and thank you for being here with me today.
Thank you so much, Chandler. I'm truly honored.
So, before we get into the nitty gritty of all that you've accomplished and all that's on the horizon, let's take it back to the beginning. Can you tell me how you got started in insurance and in operations?
So I found myself entering the insurance industry quite by accident, as many of us in the industry do. My background is in behavioral sciences, and I spent the first few years of my career working in counseling and case management. But I was looking for a new role, and I had visited an employment agency to drop off a resume. On my way out the door, I found myself sharing an elevator with a gentleman who was a financial planner and had just opened up a brand new property and casualty insurance agency. As a result of that chance meeting and that first conversation, I went to work with him. That first agency was a general lines property and casualty agency, which we built from the ground up. A couple of years later, we opened a second agency for flood insurance throughout the state of Florida, immediately followed by our third agency, which does flood insurance on a national scale. Um, in terms of operations, I really got into the operations side of things by necessity. So when you're building agencies from the ground up, you have to get the people, the processes, the technology all in place and running smoothly in order to be successful. So I found myself working on it from that perspective and realized that I had a knack for it. So as the agencies continued to grow and scale, I was fortunate enough to be named Best Independent Insurance Agency Director in Florida. One of our flood agencies won an award for Best Independent Insurance Agency. And I also had an opportunity to do some media appearances and write some publications on the flood insurance side, as well as to speak at the National Flood Conference in Washington, D.C.
It's incredible to hear that a chance encounter in an elevator paved the way for your future in insurance and in operations. So, you spent 15 years building up this agency. You win Florida's Best Independent Insurance Agency Director. What inspired you to make the transition to ARU?
Making the move to ARU was one of the bravest and one of the scariest professional decisions that in my career that I've made. I really felt like I was topped out in my agencies. I loved the work that I did there. I grew so much as a professional, but I was looking for a new challenge, for an environment that would allow me to learn and grow on a larger stage. And ARU came along as an opportunity for learning, growth, excellence. It was something brand new for me on three levels. So going from the agency side to the MGA side, going from primarily home and flood as lines of business over to farm and ag, which I had no prior experience with. And also going from being 100% on site to a 100% remote work environment. So quite a transition for me, but it has worked out really well. ARU's culture of continuous improvement, lifelong learning, has propelled me into things like achieving my associates in risk management, getting my business process manager designation, as well as my Lean Six Sigma certified green belt. So I have just grown by leaps and bounds since joining ARU, which was my goal in making the transition.
Thank you for those insights. Change can be scary, but it's very evident in the results and contributions that you've made at ARU that it paid off. So, can you share with me some of the key achievements that you're most proud of?
Yes, three things come to mind. When I joined ARU, we had just signed a program administration agreement with an admitted farm mutual carrier where we were going to be taking over underwriting, claims, policy administration, and technology for this carrier and their existing book of farm business. So I stepped right into the management of that project, documenting the conversion process as we had 4,000 policies that needed to be moved from the carrier's legacy systems over to our technology. So getting that process built, documented, putting the right people in place for the various parts of that initiative, as well as continuing to improve the technology on our side. It was an extremely successful project. We got all 4,000 of those policies moved on time with a minimum of errors. So that was my first big win at ARU. Second to that, what I'm really proud of is the impact that I've had on HR and people operations here at ARU. So we are just in the process of hiring official human resources leader here at the company. Up to this point, though, HR and people operations have really been delegated to a couple of members of leadership, myself included. So for my role, sourcing and screening, recruiting the very best talent throughout the country in order to bring them onto our team has been an area where I feel like I've been able to make a really big impact, bringing new talent in and growing them, fostering their professional development, and then alongside that, really shaping the company culture and helping us to remain tight-knit, collaborative, communicative, even in the face of all the growth that we've had. So I'm extremely proud of that. And then the third thing that I would mention is our CCPI initiative, or Culture of Continuous Process Improvement. ARU has extremely high standards. We've never been satisfied with this is the way that we've always done it. And so we're always looking for opportunities to expand, grow, streamline, and increase efficiencies. So for the CCPI project, that's included a variety of things. We got our entire staff Lean Six Sigma certified, which we're extremely proud of. So we've got white belts, green belts, and black belts on staff. And we're able to take that Lean Six Sigma methodology and permeate it throughout the company culture so that everyone that's part of ARU is always conscious in their day-to-day work of how processes can be improved and waste can be eliminated. Some other things that we've done with CCPI is a company-wide process inventory and prioritization so that we can identify the processes across the company and all of our departments that could stand to be refined or re-engineered, and that is ongoing. And then we've also done things such as deep level training with our employees on the systems that we use the most here throughout the company so that we are eliminating clicks. We are streamlining the time that it takes to do our jobs in the systems that we work in. So I would say those are probably the three biggest things that come to mind.
Your contributions have certainly been impactful, and knowing you, it's only the beginning. So, what's first on your list to tackle as Director of Operations?
My current big project is a submission intake team. So we are not slowing down in our growth anytime soon. We've got submissions coming in at a rapid pace. And as we continue to expand and scale, we are finding that the submission intake process, processing new incoming submissions, is taking significant time away from our underwriting teams. They're spending company-wide between 30 and 40% of their time just processing incoming submissions. So the current initiative is to take the submission intake process off of the underwriting teams and move it to operations. And what this means is applying both people and technology to that process, putting automations in place so that we can process incoming submissions more quickly, more thoroughly, and take that burden from the underwriting teams so that they can be more productive, focus more on underwriting tasks, and build their junior underwriting employees in their knowledge and their expertise.
It sounds like you have a lot planned. So, how will this translate into ARU's evolution?
Well, Chandler, as you mentioned earlier, ARU has experienced tremendous growth over the last few years, 40 to 50% growth on a year over year basis. And we are continuing along that path. So we have new products in the pipeline, new partnerships. We're taking on a broader range of risk and really seeking to service a wider range of policyholders across the nation.
It sounds like there are many exciting things ahead for ARU and for you in your new role. So, once again, Amanda, thank you so much for meeting with me today and congratulations.
Thank you so much, Chandler. It's been a pleasure.